Mr. Greenman, we meet again. We have a long history of work together, and it is so exquisitely painful that we're at this precipice again. Senator Draheim mentioned that he feels for me, and I appreciate that, but I want to remind him and everybody here that the job of balancing this budget is not mine, but ours. And I have faith in our ability. However, the uncertainty and the chaos coming from DC is causing me a great deal of sleepless nights and a lot of concern about the people of Minnesota. Senator Bolden did a great job of, describing who gets their coverage through medical assistance. It is a feature of the state's Health and Human Services budget. I served in the House with Representative Emmer and Representative Finseth, and I believe they were in the legislature when we had this fight over general assistance medical care and the eventual expansion of medical assistance for a group of people who were very sick and very poor, and they cost the state a lot of money. And so I was surprised when they took the vote that they did on that budget resolution, knowing the impact that it could have on medical assistance. So I just want to say that I understand and appreciate that we have the job to do, and we're in the Finance Committee right now getting ready for a forecast and then the eventual budget setting that we need to do. As I talked with people in counties yesterday, they are, of course, talking about the things that they prepared for at the end of last year that they want to talk about at this legislature. But what we are seeing is potential impacts to the state's budget coming from Washington, D.C., wash away or swamp, if you will, their concerns when it comes to human services and what they are able to do. But I think we have to remember, and Senator Draheim asked the question about the expansion. Who's in that expansion? As Cal Ludeman said when he was the commissioner, they are the sickest of the sick and the poorest of the poor of Minnesotans. They are homeless veterans. They are people with mental health diseases, substance abuse disorder, chronic conditions, and if their care is cut because we can't afford it anymore, because we lose the federal match. And I think the expansion takes, we receive 90% of the costs for that population of people. If we cut 40% of that and we don't have the revenue here in the state of Minnesota to replace it, they'll lose their coverage. And what that means is, because they're very sick, they'll go to our hospitals, but our hospitals will not get paid. They will go to our clinics, but our clinics will not get paid, or they will not get care. All of those things have an impact, a human impact and a fiscal impact. And when I think about especially our rural hospitals and our rural clinics and the financial pressure they're already experiencing, these potential cuts coming from DC have a significant potential impact on healthcare delivery, especially in greater Minnesota, where they're already struggling. So I am, you named right, worried about this, and am not willing to let DC do this without a fight, because it's so important to our state's economy, to our rural economy, to the people who work in rural communities, to the people who live all across the state of Minnesota, regardless of geography. We're gonna see a wash of increased healthcare costs for the people who still have healthcare, because that's how we cost shift. They will experience that, and we'll see a loss of coverage and care for people who need it the most. And I just think we have to be eyes wide open about that, along with the numbers that come with the decisions that we're going to make to balance the budget for the next 2 years and into the next 4 years. Thank you very much.
Senator Mohammed, please keep it short, everyone.
I will. Thank you, Mr. Chair.